It brings me to this idea of the life course. If we are talking to young people, we have to impress on them that they are going to age. They have to understand that when they were babies and when they were born, they were totally dependent on their parents. And then very quickly through the stages of childhood and adolescence, they reach the peak of their functional capacity, physical, not talking about intellectual, ventilatory, cardiovascular disease, strength or muscular strength, and then they start going down, declining. And when I say this to the students, they look at me like this because I said, if you have passed 25, you are no longer at the peak. Is that a problem? No. Look at athletes. At the age of 30, a football player is retiring because he or she can no longer compete. There will be people behind that will be pushing them. And then we start this gentle decline. That's not a problem. You reach the age of 90, you cannot expect to run around the block in the same speed, but you are above the disability threshold. You have independence, you can do things for yourself, you can do things for the others. You can continue to be contributor to society. The problem is someone that has never reached that peak will have less health capital for life, and for a number of events throughout adulthood, bad habits, behavior, but also victim of the social determinants of health, poverty, low educational level, bad work, no job satisfaction, bad public transport, etc. And then you will have a problem, a health condition that could have been prevented but was not, that complicates, and say at the age of 60 you have a stroke, and we may be alive for another 30 years, below the disability threshold. Your life will be miserable and possibly is going to drag the whole of your family into poverty because these diseases can be catastrophic in financial economic terms. What we have to change is the way we conceive life. If increasingly we have another 30 years, this longevity bonus, we have to look at the life course and say, the old way doesn't work. You would take a tenth of your life to acquire new knowledge or knowledge, to learn, but you would finish schooling at the age of 12 if you're lucky, and then would start work and work intensely for 40, 50 years, and then you would reach the age of 60 in bad shape. And perhaps you would live another 2 or 3 years. And that is why Bismarck decided that at the age of 65 there should be retirement. And let us give a little pension, keep these people out of sight at home with this little money. But now, at the age of 60, 65, you still have 30 years to live. And we're still looking at the 21st century with the weapons and solutions created in the 19th century. It doesn't work. We have to intercalate throughout life opportunities for us to learn, to work, to get entertainment, to go to a sabbatical, to reinvent yourself, come back recharged after a year in India, meditating or doing whatever you think it's good, and then you come back with energy and we start a new life. And then for parents, both men and women, to have longer periods of paternity as well as maternity leave so that you can raise children. This is one of the problems in Australia. Women are not having enough children to replace the population. And then we talk and say, but we don't want immigrants. Well, you can't have both ways. You cannot not have children and not accept young people coming from other countries. So we need to reinvent life and society as we go through this process of the longevity revolution, and the life course is the answer.